I kind of feel like, does anyone watch Jeremy Kyle? And you know when you have infirm people that come on Jeremy Kyle, they're there when they come back from the break, aren't they? And I feel like that. And if you look at the clicker thing, it's like it's like one of those phones that you get for elderly people that's really obviously how to use. So they've got my measure, okay? So I am Veronica Pullen, and I help experts who want to position themselves as an expert online, so on social media. And I help them to leverage their expertise into info products, which seems to be the word of the day today, and to find more leads and get more leads and more sales from their social marketing. And it's, I've won the affiliate award. So, but it's funny that I'm here today with this lineup because it's almost like a potted history of my business. Because Nigel, who was here before, I joined Nigel's Entrepreneur Circle in 2011, and it was £80 a month when I joined, and I shat myself about paying £80 a month. And so for 2 years, I implemented everything that Nigel taught me. And then that got me to where I went to Nick's event and had the conversation that he's just referred to. So now I'm shitting myself about investing in his mastermind group. And we had a strategy meeting. I'll never forget this. It was a Sunday morning. We had the strategy meeting, and he said to me, so we plotted out what I was going to do, and one of them was a webinar. So I said, oh, that's okay, I can do this webinar in like 2 weeks' time. And he went, no, Wednesday, so it's Sunday. So I was going to make this thing happen. And I did it, and £4,500 I made off of that webinar, which was pretty much, it wasn't far short of what I just paid, what I just committed to for the whole year back then. It was 2 years ago. So, his stuff, he's played a big part in my business so far. And I'm sure I'm going to be name dropping him a little bit more because he really has been a fundamental person for me. And Dan's Super Niche program got me to the point where I knew who my audience was. I wanted to work with experts, people who were passionate about what they did and wanted to get that message out to as many people as they can, just like I'm passionate about all of you getting the most from your social marketing. So, the whole day, and Ryan, of course, everyone knows who Ryan is, and I've been following him for years as well. So, the whole, there's my potted business history on this stage here. So, we're going to be talking about the 8 simple steps to profitable social marketing. And what happened was I went away and analysed. Now, I've been teaching business owners how to use social media for 4 years now. And some people were getting really, really great results and some weren't. And I wanted to find out why some were and some weren't. So I went away and analysed what successful social marketers do. And I came to the Social Marketing Profits Blueprint. And what I'm going to be doing here with you over the next 45 minutes is to talk you through each of those 8 steps, why it's so essential that you have them all in place, and what difference it will make, what impact it will have on the results that you get from social. So a quick intro to me, aside from what you've heard already. 2 years ago, I won the APCCC Small Business Coach of the Year. I'm the author of 2 books. The second one was published 4 days ago. The first one actually does credit Nick because I was with Nick when I published that. I've been networking online for 18 plus years. I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. I wrote a column for the Surrey Mirror for 2 years. I've won 6 awards. I work with clients all over the world because that's another blessing about moving more of your marketing online. You're no longer tied to the geographical area that you live in or being able to access people physically. In fact, most of my clients are remote, and I'm meeting people in this room today who have worked with me already and I've never met before, so it's great. And 89% of our clients come through what I do on Facebook and Twitter. And I won the affiliate because I walk my talk. Everything that I'm going to be teaching you here is you can see me doing in my own business, and not a lot of social media experts can say the same. So if you come and look at anything that I do online, it will be following the 8 steps I'm about to tell you about. So 43 years ago, managed to knock a year off there. I was born with partial hearing loss. So if you're wondering why my voice is a little bit different, that's what that's about. At the age of 12, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And that's the reason why I got on stage before you came back, because I've been shitting myself about getting up those steps all morning. And I was like, please, can I do it without an audience? So that's what that was about there. When I was 26, 27, go back quickly. From the age of 17, I was desperate to drive. And who's into vision boards here? Are we all like real vision boarders? Any vision boarders here? So I had my vision board, and it had the car of my dreams on it. And I'm going to show my age now, but some of you will get this, and some of you will just... XR3i. In the 80s, the car when you had arrived was an XR3i. That was the car that I wanted. So I started trying to learn to drive, and it took me 7 years, and I just couldn't master it. With the physical issues, I've since also discovered that I've got Asperger's syndrome, and I think, the wires being crossed in my head just meant it wasn't happening for me. But I persevered because I was having that bloody car, okay? So eventually, someone said, well, did you know that you can have an automatic driving licence? No. So I had to make a decision there. Did I want the licence or did I want the car? Well, what use is an XR3i if it's just going to sit on the drive? I want the car. I want to be able to drive. I want to be independent. And that was I had 6 lessons in an automatic car and passed my test first time. So when something is meant to happen, it's meant to happen. And that was in May. And in the October, I went to the opticians because I have trouble seeing at night. I never drove at night, but I knew that I wasn't as clear-sighted as I should be. I was diagnosed with an eyesight condition called retinitis pigmentosa at that point. There's a whole, you write the list, it's getting longer. And in the UK, that diagnosis, can you guess what that diagnosis means? The driving licence. Immediate revocation of the driving licence. 7.5 years, 6 months, and the bastards have just taken it off me. Can you believe it? Seriously, 6 months. I mean, give us a break, after all that time. So what happened was, I had to make a decision about whether, because that's seriously taken my independence away. I know I've only had it for 6 months, but it's surprising how quickly you adjust, So do I let that define me or do I move my life online? And I moved my social life online, and back then it wasn't cool. Back then nobody was doing it, and it was full of weirdos and nutcases, other people's opinion, not mine. But it's all those years of doing it that I've just been doing that for fun. In my past life, I was a bookkeeper, and I used to go to work every day, come home at night, and network. And it wasn't Facebook and Twitter back then, but it was written networking. And then in 2010, an email from, believe it or not, Nigel Boswell triggered something in my mind that business owners actually want to know what I know. And that's what started off this journey here. And coming back to the XR3i, after I lost my licence, I'm now never going to be able to drive this car. So my husband and I both chopped in our cars. Whoops. It's for geriatric people who press the wrong button. So on the left there, we swapped in both of our cars for the XR3i. Now, I loved that car. I loved that car so much. When I used to work, I never had pictures of my family on the wall. I had a picture of that car. And I don't know if you know what's special about that car, apart from the fact that it's a special car, but the registration plate on that car is an Isle of Wight registration plate. And the car is parked outside a caravan on the Isle of Wight, where for the last 20 years, I've been going every single year for holiday. And it's always been my dream to live there. But it's never been able to happen because even though I've been in business for 5 years, my husband's been employed, and so we've needed to be near his job. And last year, we got the business to a point where my husband, Prince William, down there, because I am the Queen, imagine the crown, Prince William, and we've got 2 furry pets that are also royalty. And he was able to leave his job and come into the business full time, and we moved. In 2013, we moved to the Isle of Wight. And now, from Surrey to the Isle of Wight, it's about 80 miles, but it didn't matter because most of my clients, in fact, all of my clients, are used to working with me remotely because these kind of in-person things are quite rare for me. I think this is probably about the third or fourth one this year. So most of what I do is remote, so I get to live on my lovely island and work with clients all over the world. And in the middle there is me on my birthday last year, Christmas Eve, at a spot in the Isle of Wight where the, disclaimer, woo-woo moment. But that cliff path there is where I've always felt the spirit of my dad is. And that was the first time last year that I've ever get to spend my birthday with my dad. So there's me, Princess Pepper, at the spot where my dad's spirit is on my birthday last year. So this business has made all of that happen. And there's now actually 6 of us, 4 full-timers, 2 part-time outsourcers, me and a husband, all in the business. And it's all happened as a result of what I'm about to teach you. So those are the 8 steps of the Social Marketing Profits Blueprint. Attract, connect, capture, nurture, verify, satisfy, consult, convert. And if you do offline networking, you've probably heard about the meet, like, know, trust, buy triangle. I don't know a more scientific name than that. It's a triangle. Hierarchy, is that it? And it's exactly the same thing. Your prospects online need to go through a series of emotion states, 6 emotion states, before they'll be ready to consider investing with you. And, Ryan this morning was talking about trying to plan your children's name on the first date. I see a lot of people doing that online that I know wouldn't dream of doing it offline. So there's kind of a takeaway for you that online and offline is exactly the same. If you wouldn't do it offline, don't do it online. Don't try and rush that relationship online because I know that you wouldn't do it offline. So, step 1, attract, is about finding and being found by your ideal client. It's about being attractive and attracting. Now, I don't mean, that we're all UK's best top model. We don't have to be beautiful, although we all are, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you actively getting yourself in front of A, your ideal clients, B, your peers, and C, the people who, if all the gods or universe or whoever you believe in was smiling on you, you would get to work with. And that is how I have come here. Because as well as networking with the people who are my ideal clients now, and as well as networking with all the people who are my peers, I've been networking with the people that I wanted to work with. People like Nick and Dan. And I met Nick on Facebook. And we had I was a bit lippy to him about, he's got this weird habit of hanging up football shirts in a picture frame, like he hasn't got enough wardrobes or something. And that was the first conversation that we had. I couldn't understand why this guy can't buy wardrobes for his football shirts, It's just weird. So, Dan, Joanna Martin, Nigel, these people that I wanted to work with, I've been networking with so that they know who I am. Nick knew who I was before I went and vetted him in person. If people know who you are and you add value to them, you add value to your ideal clients, you add value to your peers, and you add value to your heroes, you will be building a network of amazing people. And all of the heroes that when I started stalking, in a nice way, in a very non-creepy way. Every single one of them I've now worked with. 4 years ago, it seemed impossible. Every single one of those people I've now worked with. And that is part of what can happen to you. Can you imagine, some of you may well already be getting this, but imagine your hero, your business, maybe not hero, but the person that you respect, who is already successful at what you do, says, hey, I really love what you do and I want to share it with my tribe. How amazing would that be? And it's really bloody easy to do it if you focus on adding value. Getting in front of the right people, building the network of the right people. And when we talk about peers, for God's sake, hang out with people that are not normal like we are. Don't spend all of your time hanging out with the people that don't believe in what you do. You want people who push you forward because, you are the average. Your earnings will be the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Make those people more successful than you, and you will be rushing to catch up. So use Twitter searches. Search for keywords. Search for people who already have your ideal client peers or in their audience. Search for your heroes. Use Facebook personal posts. There's a 10% rule that means that no more than 1 in 10 of your personal posts can be about business, but that means 1 in 10 use it and make it public visibility so the whole world can see it. And use Facebook groups. Facebook groups have been my most profitable networking strategy. Hang out in 4 or 5 Facebook groups with the right network and be all over the group, or answer questions. Imagine that person has just asked you that question directly and answer it. Because I cannot tell you enough how much benefit you will get from that. Just show up as a friend in those groups. No promo, just a friend, okay? Connect your page to your profile so that when I hover over your name, I can see your job, and your job is your page. So now, I get to know you in the group, I get to like you in the group. I hover over your name, I go through to your page, I can see what you're posting on your page, and I can connect with you on your page. Now, I'm going to talk about step 3 in a minute, and that's really important for the page. But before I get there, also think about Twitter chats. They're typically an hour. If you've got any EC members in here, there's EC hour Tuesday between 8 and 9. But there will be another Twitter chat that your ideal clients are right now hanging out in. Maybe not right now, but every week for an hour, your ideal clients are hanging out in one of these Twitter chats. Be there. Be there and get to know them. Having an attractive presence, again, doesn't mean that you're beautiful. It means that you are clear about who you want to work with, so that when that person comes to your profile, it is obvious to them that you can help them. Don't be all wishy-washy about what you do. Don't be all, I love my animals and my husband, and all that, waste of space. Just tell people the benefit about why they need to work with you, and make it really obvious to me if I'm your ideal client that you're my ideal expert. And on Facebook, it's also about being legal. Now, I'm not going to spend hours talking about it because I haven't got them, but Facebook's terms and conditions are really, really, really tough. Like no other network you will ever find. And yet, somebody I know yesterday had their profile converted into a page because they'd breached the naming convention. And the naming convention means that your personal name cannot be anything that isn't provable by your ID document. So that includes like Veronica Sunshine Pullen, illegal. Veronica Ben's mum Pullen, illegal. Veronica Pullen, legal. So please, when you go home tonight, if you've got a Facebook personal profile that has anything in the name that isn't on your passport, get rid of it. Because if you lose your profile, if your profile is converted to a page, you will lose access to all of your friends. You will lose access to all of your adverts. You will lose access to your page if you are the only admin, because it will just disappear. The profile will be no longer. You will lose access to all of the groups that you are a member of, and you will literally have to start again adding friends, and your business could go down in that time. Step 2 is to connect and build emotional connections with the people that you meet. Add value. They will come forward if you show interest in them. Care about the people that you meet. Give them help when they need help. When you care about them, they'll care about you and what you do, and they will take an interest in what you do. Give people what they asked or hoped for when they wrote the tweet or message or whatever. Read it and think, what do they want? How can I give it to them? That doesn't mean giving away your stuff for free, okay? It doesn't mean giving it away where you should be charging. It just means being a mate. And if your mate said to you, hey, what WordPress plugin should I use? You give them the answer. Just give them the answer and let them go on, because they will remember that. You know, I can remember before I worked with Nick, I sent him an email with one sentence. Nick, go and do this, and I promise you it will make a difference. It was to do with his webinar. He went off, he came back, he went, okay, 45 minutes, but he came back and said, I got 50% more. That was me adding value to him. He remembered that. You can do the same to the people in your network. Add value wherever you can. Now, here's the most important part. Capture. Ryan talked about lead magnets this morning. A lead magnet is your free ebook, audio, video series, a cheat sheet, report, VIP club, whatever. Something of value, something that is attractive to your ideal client that they can download in exchange for their email address. If you do not have a lead magnet, switch off your Facebook and Twitter account. Seriously, it's not worth it. Because if you happen to be my contact that had their profile converted into a page tomorrow, all of the work that they have done building a network just went. If you've got a lead magnet, Nigel said it again, the list is the biggest asset. If you've got a lead magnet, you're converting your followers into your list. The list you own, Facebook you don't. Facebook want you out, you're gone. And, you know, I had someone come to me last year, spent 2 years building 3,000 Twitter followers. They got suspended, the whole lot went. What a waste of time. But not just what a waste of time, that was their pool of lead and inquiry, just gone, just like that. Get them into your list and build your business asset. Please, if you can't be bothered to do that, forget the rest of it. Switch off, go home, because it's not going to be worth that. You're also losing sales opportunities because most people who go to your website won't be ready to buy. And if you've got no lead magnet, they'll come to the website and go, I'm not ready to buy, and they'll go, and you've lost them. With a lead magnet, they'll think, oh, that looks interesting, because you want to make sure it is interesting, it is valuable. I'll have that. And then you can email market them. And which brings us to the next step, which is nurture. And you carry on doing what we talked about in step 2, where you give people what they ask or hope for on social, but you also email them. You want to be emailing at least once a week, whether it's by automated emails, autoresponders, or whether it's manual that you do live. Because think about this for a minute. Imagine you're a hypnotherapist, and 6 months ago you spent some time having a chat with somebody who was really sceptical about hypno. And through the conversation with you, they got it. But they weren't yet ready to have that hypno. Let's just say they wanted to give up smoking, and they just weren't quite ready yet. So it was parked. Maybe you captured their email address, but you haven't emailed them. Now, the chances are they've met another hypno who is emailing them. They've had their lead magnet. They email them with an offer. Series of 6 sessions for 30 quid. Just so I know you're not going to charge 30. I hope you're not going to charge 30 quid for 6 sessions. They go and buy. You did the work to convince them to have hypno. Somebody else gets your income. If you're reminding them to buy, if you're emailing value, just email, add more value, more value, more value. But with 25% of it as an offer, 25% of your email output should be asking for the sale. Because if you're not making the sale. And you know how Facebook used to be completely advert free, and now they're not? And people got really pissed off about having ads in their newsfeed and on the sidebar. The reason why people are pissed off is because they introduced it later. If you get your lead magnet downloaders used to seeing you promote from the beginning, it won't matter to them. Imagine on BBC One, in the middle of EastEnders, suddenly there's a commercial break. Can you imagine? Oh my God, there's this, buy personal or what have you. Not going to be popular. Whereas on ITV and Sky, People might not enjoy the adverts, but nobody goes, right, that's it. I'm leaving Sky because there's adverts. It doesn't happen. So, that's the problem that Facebook got. That's why Hello has been set up as the antithesis of Facebook. Don't let somebody set up the antithesis of you. Get your tribe used to seeing you promote from day one, or from at least day 4, the 4th email in. But don't leave it don't think, I'll give them a year's worth of value and then I'll start selling. All that'll happen is they'll just go. Or they probably already bought from somebody else. Early doors. Number 5, step 5 is verify. Demonstrate why they should be buying from you. Potentially it's content, blogs, videos, podcasts, interviews, information products. Leverage content, leverage expertise. It's webinars, it's teleseminars, it's speaking like I'm doing here. When Nick came on and introduced me, that's step 6, and I'll explain that in a minute. But me being here on the stage puts me a level above. I don't say this to, what was it Nigel said earlier? I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you that me being on the stage, it puts me in a different position. Everyone on the stage today is on a different level, yeah? I mean, we are a bit higher as well, But when you are out there sharing what you know, that people can consume and they can learn from you, you will be positioning yourself as that expert in what you do. And your own story is extremely powerful. Your big why. Why are you doing what you do? I shared some of my story. I'm here because I care that the people who are using social media get great results from it. I care. It upsets me, even though they're not my client, it upsets me when something happens like it happened yesterday, because it could so easily have been avoided if they'd taken notice of the 101 times that I'd banged on about it. But just, because I know that I've done my bit, I keep putting out there what I know. When the rules change, I'll tell you about the rules. Do not fall foul of Facebook. Facebook asks to be feared, because just like that, you can be gone. But show what you know. Demonstrate that you're the expert. And then people will be like, wow, they really know their stuff. And info products especially, having info products, I was talking to somebody earlier about if you have no info products and your hourly rate is 40 quid, okay, let's just say £40 an hour. So you're selling coaching or what have you for 40 quid an hour. But then you come and create an information product, which I can normally do them in about 8 hours of work. So let's just say you've created an info product and you sell that for 40 quid. Without you having to change anything up here, because I do know that increasing your prices means something up here's got to shift. I've been there. Nick has been kicked my butt several times while I was in his group. Charge more, but you've got to go through this process first. I've done it now, but it takes time. Now I've got a mastermind group. People come over to the island and work with me. I've got a VIP day that you can come and spend the whole day with me and we'll work on this whole thing for your business. I'm there now, but I wasn't always. So as soon as you create your information product, your audience are now not expecting you to charge them 40 quid for an hour in person. They're expecting you to charge at least 80 because they've just bought your expertise for 40 quid. So when you come in person, your value is immediately elevated, even without you doing any of this mindset shifting. You can just go, right, £80 an hour, and they'll go, that's fine. Because you've already produced value for 40 quid. It's simple. So now you've got an info product that's 100 quid, you can start charging 200 quid. And nobody will quibble it because they've got massive value for the 100 quid that they've invested. They've probably already made 4. Or their lifestyle's completely changed, so they are getting better results with their kids or whatever it was that you sell. So your in-person time has a higher value. So that's why when you can verify your expertise, you do immediately position yourself as the expert. You become, rather than comparing apples and apples, which is what can happen when you're all a little bit, when you're a bit vanilla and you're like, so yeah, I just teach social media. somebody else comes in and says, yeah, I teach social media as well. And I go, well, I charge 40 quid. And they go, well, I charge 25. Most people would just go there because they've got nothing to compare. But because I've shared, I share loads of content and people have been learning from me, that £25 an hour person, they don't know who they are. There's no social proof for them. So, do you get what I'm saying? So, prove your expertise, verify your expertise, and you will have authority. You will build authority online. So the next step is satisfy. Prove that you can be trusted to deliver on your promises. So people have got to know and like you. They've invested something in you, the lead magnet. Oh, I forgot to say actually, step 3 also, Ryan brought it up this morning, but tripwires. So you offer them a free lead magnet, and instead of saying, when they hit the submit button, instead of showing them a thank you page, you show them a sales page to a really low cost but high value offer. So an amount of money that for your tribe is just like going in Costa and throwing whatever, a coffee and a panini, or whatever they can spend without thinking about it. And so what you've done there is you've converted someone not just into a lead, because you've got the lead, but now into a more committed customer. And someone who spent money with you already is more likely to spend money with you again. And the analogy that I use, if you think about you get a backache, the first thing you do is look for the free remedy, which is probably in your bathroom cabinet, or if you live in our house, it's in the man drawer. We've got a man drawer where all the shit goes in that you don't know what else to do with the ibuprofen and the paracetamol in there. So I take that first. That does, maybe, but I'm not going to sleep tonight because it's still painful. So I go to the chemist and buy a TENS machine. That's the tripwire. I've now committed to doing something more about it, and I've paid out a little bit more, a small investment. But it's not dealing with the root of the problem. So now I go to a osteo or physio or chiro or what have you, and I'll pay for a series of sessions. So that's where your products and services come in. So it's kind of a stage system that takes them from pain, literally in the case of a backache, to ideal vision at the other end. So you step them through step by step, one step at a time, or 2 or 3 steps at a time until they've got absolutely the result. And you are there all the time, rather than you giving them the free thing and then nothing until the end and then going off and getting it from someone else. They can come with you the whole way through. And when I do VIP days with clients, that's what I do. We map out what does that journey look like for you as a client, and how can you serve it with your product, information products, with your services, and with your VIP services at the very end. So, or actually, no, VIP time and done for you services at the very end, where someone just make it happen. And in our case, we just take the whole online marketing away from them. So right the way through, they're with me. So here, prove that you can be trusted. Share your testimonials, share your reviews, share all the positive comments that people post about you, say about you on the phone or email you. Nick being up here was an endorsement. That was a verification of what I say in this process. Yeah. So the more stuff you can get from other people that you share with your audience, the more likely, because this is the last demotion state now, and then they're ready to buy. So if you can't get them past this step, it's not going to happen. So make sure that you're collecting testimonials and make sure that you're sharing them, because if you've read Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, he said that when we're not sure of what to do next, we look around and we look at what our peers are doing. And your ideal client peers are saying the testimonials and reviews that you then share, so that the person who's not sure what to do next can see what their peers are doing. Does that make sense? So make sure you don't be shy about this stuff. Anything good, share it, because it'll make a big difference. So at step 7, they're now ready to invest something with you, maybe it's time, whether it's money. So it might be that if you've got a bricks and mortar business, that they come and visit you for the first time. It might be that they'll purchase a low-ticket item, a book, or a low-cost information product, your tripwire. But actually, no, it's not your tripwire, because your tripwire is just a throwaway amount of money. They're happy to risk that. This is probably a 40, 50 quid product. Well, they do have to think about it. It might be that they attend your webinar or teleseminar or your event, because we all register for webinars, yeah? And don't show up for all of them, do we? And we go, yeah, I'll get the recording. And the part of the reason why that happened is not the whole reason, because there's life and everything else that goes on, but part of the reason is that you don't believe that giving that person an hour and a half of your time will give you the value that, so giving up that hour and a half with your kid to spend with that person is not going to give you the same value. It's not going to give you value, so you're just going to spend it with your kid. But if you actually genuinely believe, we are all here because we believe, we know that we're going to get value from the guys up here today. So that's another step forward. In order for you to believe that, you have to believe in the people that are here. Yeah, that makes sense? So when people believe in you, it might be that they just go, hey, can we have a chat? Because I want to explore whether what you offer is of use to me, is a good fit for me. That is a step 7 exercise. They've taken another step towards you. And at step 8, you've just converted a new private client, and woohoo! You have just gained a new private client. So right here, make sure that you're automating your sales process so that you can actually make sales, Infusionsoft, that you can make sales while you're not involved in the sale, because you will never be able to make as much money as you want to if you have to be involved in every single sale, because you're going to run out of time. Deliver on what you promise. Don't oversell and underdeliver. Make sure that you undersell and overdeliver. Don't forget to collect and share the testimonials. And at this stage, you can attract referrals, affiliates, and joint venture partners. People that I have worked with have asked me, can they promote me to their audience? They get a cut of the sale. And, I'm here because Nick and Dan asked the same. And I'm here because I'm not promoting everything. I'm not promoting every week. When I promote something, I mean it. If I say it's good, I mean it's good. I believe it to be good because I've used it, I've had experience of it. So don't overdo the affiliation from your side or from somebody else's. Don't be the person that's just everywhere. You want to make sure you've got select partners. Now I'm going to give you a freebie now. On select partner bit, I'm one of Nigel Bosworth's trusted suppliers. So that's another endorsement because he says, hey, Veronica is somebody that I trust to help you. So we have that trusted supplier endorsement as well. So what you can do now, I've got 7 3/4 minutes left. What we can do now is if you go to queenofsocial.media, isn't that a cool URL? I'm thinking, I need a URL that it's a bit more than a bit normal boring. So what can I do? .media, that's quite cool. So queenofsocial.media. It's making me happy anyway. Or you can text Queen, your name and your email to 60777. Now for transparency, this is the first time I've tested this, and I've had several of my mastermind clients going, should I be using text marketing? And I've gone, well, actually, I don't think it's going to work because I always turn my phone off in events like this, so I wouldn't be able to text. So I don't think it's going to work. But then I thought, hey, this is me. I need to be able to prove either I'm right or I'm wrong. So prove me right or wrong by texting or using the squeeze page. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to give you is my free ebook where I'll go into more detail and give you tips that you can actually apply from each of these 8 steps so that you can start using Facebook and Twitter. Just on that note, I don't teach LinkedIn. And the reason I don't teach LinkedIn is because I don't really use it. And the reason I don't really use it is because it bores me. As a social media actor, I'm not supposed to say that, but it bores the tears out of me. It's too slow, and it feels a bit corporate for me, and I'm not, you can probably guess, I don't fit into the corporate environment, so I'm probably like the naughty girl over there. So it's Facebook and Twitter, but most of the stuff that I've just taught you here will apply to LinkedIn as well, the way that you use LinkedIn, which sounds like, why aren't you using it then? Because I don't like it. Let me leave over here. So, but Facebook and Twitter move much faster. That suits me. That suits my brain. So we'll stick there. But if you want the slower way, do it on LinkedIn. Any LinkedIn experts are ready to kill me, and we're going to get off there and get shot or something. So Learn how to find and engage with your ideal clients and convert them into warm lead, committed customers and paying clients. So queenofsocial.media. I just love that. I want to say it again. I'm a celebrity batsman. .media, or text Queen, your name, your email to 60777. And you're also going to get my Lead Magnet Academy program for free. Now, what that means is you get lifetime access to this, but we can work together to create your lead magnet. So you don't just have to switch off your Facebook and your Twitter account, because I didn't mean that. That would make me cry. So let's get you a lead magnet in place if you haven't got one already. So step by step, you get me every step of the way. You've got a Facebook group where you can ask me questions. We will get you from, oh my God, what am I going to do, to, hey, I've just had my first subscriber. And that's a bloody good feeling. So we'll get you there in at least the next 30 days. You'll probably be able to do it in 7, but I don't want to rush you. You've got other things to do. So that Lead Magnet Academy stays there until Wednesday night. You can still get the book after Wednesday, but I'm taking the Lead Magnet Academy program off. Because if you want to create a lead magnet, let's just do it. Let's just get it done. And not, don't waste any more time. Because any more time, you're losing sales opportunities. Let's make it happen in 2014. Don't carry it over to another year. queenofsocial.media, or Queen, your name, your email, to 60777. So like Queen, Veronica at veronicapullen.co.uk. But don't text me that, because that's mine. And look, if you want to email me, because I do answer. People go, I wasn't expecting you to, but you want to ask me a question, I'll answer your question. But mostly, I want you to text Queen, your name, your email to 60777, or go to queenofsocial.media, get the freebies, and let's make this happen for you in 2014. And next year, you could be sat up here. Next year, by this time next year, you could be their biggest affiliate. If you start implementing and start building your network. And I've got a friend who completely changed their business 4 months ago. Went from running one type of business to something completely different. But she's now doing what she absolutely loves to do. And over the last 4 months, I spent all of that time networking. And she's got immense, her tribe are already following her. Well, obviously they're following her, but they're actually listening to her. They want more. They want stuff from her that she hasn't had time to produce yet. They want to come and pay her to work with her. They want to do this. She's going, oh my God, I haven't got time to do this yet. I'm scared, it's all very quick. But that's the power of networking. That's the power of her telling people what she's the expert in. That's the power of her networking and connecting, verifying. And she's got this tribe in 4 months. Now, 4 months might seem a long time, but it's actually really bloody quick. It's taken me, I wouldn't have been here last year. It builds on, it's like Nigel said, it's a ball that rolls on, okay? But the sooner you start, the sooner you can get to the end. queenofsocial.media, or Queen, your name, your email, to 60777 before 5 o'clock on Wednesday. At 5 o'clock on Wednesday, I am going to take the free Lead Magnet Academy off, which that's your opportunity to work with me and start collecting your leads and start building your list now. After that, you're welcome to come and pay me £97 for it, but the next 4 days is yours for free. So, thank you to Nick and Dan for putting on the event, which meant that I could promote it. I'm here. Thank you for sitting there and listening to me for the last 45 minutes. And enjoy the rest of your afternoon and tomorrow. And I'll see you all again inside the academy. Yeah? Let's make it happen. Thanks very much.
Round of applause for Veronica Pullen, ladies and gentlemen.